So the process of adjustment and transition to change has 7 stages to it that are really useful to understand. And when you get it, you will find it easier to understand where you are in the process. I'm going to unpack these 7 stages very briefly for you. The first stage is immobilization, where you're just frozen in fear, even because you've made the right choice for yourself for all the right reasons. You just feel frozen, you feel stuck. And this is really normal. The second stage is minimization, where we minimize this threat of newness to ourselves. We might compare this to a previous job move or any other time in your life when you've had shift or change and you survived. You minimize the current threat because you know you will overcome it. This too shall pass. And then you might hit a patch of feeling down. We call this depression, where we withdraw and you feel a little bit not quite so confident. And it's not a nice place to be, and you feel a bit like you're in a pit. And you will come up. I promise you, it's part of going through these 7 stages. And these stages, we don't go through them in a linear way. We actually go in and out, backwards and forwards. So it's not straightforward 1 to 7 and you're out and you're done. You might find yourself coming back into stages, as I'm sure you've realized you've done during COVID. Then we go from depression into acceptance of our new reality. You accept where you are, the choices you've made, and the only way forward is forward. You know, I think sometimes when we start a new job, and think about when your kids started a new school, because the same goes for any kind of change, same 7 stages, is that we have this feeling of, maybe I should go back to my previous employer. Maybe I should go back to my old school. Maybe they'll take me back. You know, there's that little bit of a flirting with that idea that happens. But, you know, the funny thing is when you go back, they've filled your position. And if your child goes back to their old school, nobody wants them back. You know, it's really a bit of a fairy tale that you're flirting with. But it kind of makes you feel better for a while. So we accept that we are going to move forward. The only way forward is forward, and that's a good place to be at. And then we go to testing our new reality. And when you test your new reality, it's like you've got colleagues you've never met before, you get to know them, you start dancing a little bit, getting to know each other, sharing information, and eventually they become your new team, your family outside of home. And just a lovely example here is when your child goes to a new school and they've got no friends. You know, the brain is a brilliant organ, and it works out the best strategy for making a friend. And if it works, your child will do exactly the same thing again. If it doesn't work, the brain will come up with a new strategy. Isn't it just brilliant? And we start testing our new ideas in our new environment. You know, you've been hired for a reason, for your skills, for your knowledge, for your innovative thinking. And now you've got a new blank canvas to play with. So go and test that new reality. It's exciting, but it's also scary. I get it. And then we start finding meaning in this new place where we find ourselves. We search for meaning in the change that we've actually embarked upon. And then we start internalizing. That's the 7th stage. We internalize the new reality, and we decide at some point in time that in fact we're in a really good place. And with most changes, we go through all of these stages and we eventually get to a place where we go, life is good. I like this place where I find myself. I talk a lot about endings and beginnings being part of life. They're all important for our continued growth and our evolution.